no cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. Time for viewing, ask Alma.
Hello. How y'all doing? Come on in here. Oh my goodness, family. I have not seen y'all for how long? 1 week, 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. And I missed you terribly. How y'all doing? Hi, Tina. How y'all doing? Tina, I like that picture you posted of Junior Carter. That was very, very nice. May he rest in peace. One of our high school classmates. How y'all doing? Come in. Tell me hello so I can tell you hello. I hope Bessie is watching. Bessie had a birthday. So I want to say happy birthday, Lillian. I hope it was fantastic. Yes. We got a show for y'all tonight. We got the friends together. Yeah, because I already mentioned it. I haven't been here for 2 weeks. We do Leah every Friday of the month. And we didn't do last Tuesday because it was 4th of July. Did y'all watch fireworks? I took my granddaughter. Ava was here. Yes. So come on in here and tell me how you doing. We got to catch up. We have to catch up. It's been 2 weeks. We got way too much to talk about. Speaking of way too much to talk about, where is my co-host and panel? Dee Dee, come on in here. Charlene, come on in here. Hi, Dee Dee. Alvin. Hi, Sean. Alvin. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Everybody's trying to survive this heat.
Yes.
Girl, I'm sweating now. Can you see it on the camera? I was trying not to lean in so the sweat drops wouldn't fall down off my face. I don't even know, earlier today, I had the air conditioner turned off downstairs because I was upstairs and because I was in the basement. Basement's always cool.
Yeah.
And I came upstairs to do the show. Whoo, Lord, let's just say.
We broke a record last Thursday. I think it was a record heat.
Yeah.
In Florida?
I want to say
everywhere?
Yeah, national number, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And they're talking about a heat wave this week, and I heard the guy on the news say it's going to be a heat tsunami. So he said heat tsunami. I was like that.
That's serious. That's serious stuff.
That's serious.
That is serious.
Yeah.
He said it.
And speaking of a tsunami, so I was down at Virginia Beach because we had to take Ava back home. So we went out to dinner, and Josh was like, "Oh, Mom, let's go to this restaurant. It's on the water. Oh, you'll love it." And so we all got there, and we're headed towards this restaurant that is literally out in the water on stilts. And then the boardwalk goes further out. And I don't know, do you guys watch 911 with Angela Bassett?
Yeah.
I love that show. I love that show.
I watch them both. Yes, too.
Yeah. I watch both of those. And do you guys remember the tsunami episode?
Yes.
Girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, because that's all I'm saying. We walking out there to the restaurant, and I go, Josh, you ever watch that show named 911? Because I'm thinking it looked exactly like that. Remember, it was that building, Shaw. Remember, it was the blue building, and then the water came up. Yeah. The restaurant was blue. Girl, on the water. I was looking around for Angela Bassett. Oh, Lord.
Waiting for the music.
looking for the
Where's the music? So,
exit.
but we survived it. Oh my gosh, but it was the first thing I thought of. And so when Alvin said tsunami, I was like,
That's
oh my
what it
gosh,
does.
that was exactly it.
Well,
Yes.
You can always look at when I'm on the beach looking at. They talk about rip currents. I'm always watching the water to see if I can spot one. Like, get away from there! You don't want to be over there. That's a rip.
That would drive me crazy. Like
I don't go out in the ocean anyway. That's the fish's home, and I let them have it.
yeah.
If I need to swim, I'm gonna find a swimming pool. Although down here it seems like the alligators are invading people's swimming pools now.
Oh,
But yeah, I need
It's always in Florida. Everybody who lives in Florida should know that an alligator gonna show up at your swimming pool.
The rule is if you see a body of water, an alligator has been there, is there, or planning to show up. So you shouldn't jump into any body of water unless you don't know. They find their way to anywhere they want to be. So swimming pools, people.
Alvin, what were you getting ready to say?
No, you had said something about the 4th of July, and Welcome saying that you weren't on last week, and it took me back. I looked at all the shows that had fireworks on it because I stayed in the house, and the only thing I remember from all of that. Now I know all of you grew up with the song "Lift Every Voice and Sing." I know you heard, and you've heard so many versions. You just want to do this sometimes, but Jasmine Sullivan did a version of "Lift Every Voice and Sing" in New York for the fireworks. Please find it and listen to it.
Okay.
I saw people talking about it on social media, but I didn't hear it. Oh yeah, she lit social media up with it. Yeah.
Okay.
It is the best rendition that I've ever heard, and I've been in a lot of choirs. I have never heard anybody singing like that.
Okay. Really? I'm gonna check it out.
The whole show was good.
Yeah, the whole show was good. It was good. It was good. But yeah, you made me think of that when you said 4th of July because I try not to think about 4th of July. I'm only Juneteenth.
We went to the base. They actually have a wonderful 4th of July fireworks display at majority of the bases across the country. So we went to the one at Fort Meade. I see Pat Walk Up has joined us, you guys. I haven't seen Pat forever. Hey, Pat, I'm so glad you're here with us. Tracy has come into it. Yes, she has. Hey, Tracy.
Tina's also a 911 fan. I love that.
Yes, Tina. Oh my goodness. I think it's a really good show. And I think one of the reasons I like it so much, it reminds me a little bit of that show, not Major Crimes, but the one that was Major Crimes was a spinoff from this show.
The one with
it was Kevin Bacon. Yes,
the closer.
The closer. I always liked that show too because it was everybody. Yeah. Like everybody was represented on the show, and that's how 911 is. It has everybody on the show. And
they had an episode where the woman was needed help. She was faking a heart attack. So he assigned the Muslim girl to help her. She's like, no, not her. Can't you do it? And he said no. So then she says, well, how about him? And he says, well, ma'am, I can help you, but I'm a homosexual. Because he knew she would be upset about it. So she was like, okay, not him. And she pointed to the black guy. She goes, I told you I'm not racist. Him. And he bends down to help her. And he said, you probably should know I'm transgender. So she automatically got well. Like, immediately got well. I'm fine. And then they locked her up for whatever she had called. She had called to get somebody else in trouble or whatever. So they cuffed her and took her away.
I love that show.
They look at everybody and they look at all of the topics that we see happening in real life. So I love that show.
And this is 911.
Yeah, and it's a great show to watch as a balance to all of the negativity you hear all the time and read about and see it on other shows. Yeah. This is a really good show that brings everybody together, and it's fantastic.
There's two, Alvin. There's the 911, and then there's they're in LA, and then there's 911 Lone Star.
Yeah, I love that one.
That group is in Texas. Rob Lowe is the main character.
Yeah, Rob looks really good. He's aging well. He looks real good.
Oh, that's
you don't.
I don't either. I'm with you, so I don't think he's surgery.
Really? You think it's plastic surgery?
He looks false to me.
Well, I don't know if it's plastic surgery or some of us age well and some of us don't. don't know, Sean.
Yes, some of us, Alvin King is aging well.
Ages
I
well.
don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
Because Alvin, didn't you have a birthday? You had a birthday.
I did
Happy
have a birthday since
birthday.
we last saw each other. And I worked on my birthday. So yes, I did have a birthday. I did. But thank you.
Happy birthday to you. No, you don't age. No, you don't.
You
Hold
don't.
on. Let me get my stomach and pull it back. Thank you.
And Charlene and Dee and I are all Virgos, so our birthdays are in September. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
September babies. Yes. All
well,
three
wait, and I got to throw the compliment back out, okay? Because I worked with you all for almost 20-something years.
Yeah.
And I could spot you at a Million Man March. Okay, so either one of you all, if you're in a march, I don't care. I can spot you out and say, "There's Alma. There's you, there's Charlene."
Yeah.
So no.
That has happened to us, Alvin, on the street in DC.
Yeah, Alvin, do you remember the time I saw you on the streets of DC near one of the museums? And I didn't have your cell number, but I sent you a message on Facebook really quick. Said, Alvin, I see you. Do you remember?
Charlene, that wasn't in the street. We were driving down 95.
That too.
Okay, because I was driving down 95 and I get a text. And I'm like, and Charlene said, I saw you go past me or something like that.
Wow. That is hilarious.
I couldn't believe it. I just looked over and there was Alma.
Well, you know, we did spend a lot of hours together.
We did. We spent a lot of
hours together in that business.
And viewers, this is I'm no hype. I'm serious. If you could, if our USA Today had a yearbook and pull their pictures up, you would know exactly what I'm talking about.
Who was who?
Yeah, who
was who? Hey, Leah.
You guys remember Chris Wells?
Yes, she hired me at the library.
I saw her recently.
Wow.
At the library? You worked at the library?
She was the director of something and ran the newsroom library. Yes.
Oh, at the newsroom. Okay.
At the newsroom library, not the Library of Congress. Right now. What floor is she on? No, this was this was and I have a long story about that, but I won't tell you guys right now because I guess we should get started. But y'all know, because we could. I'm telling, and really thank you everybody who's watching. I appreciate that you're here. Those of you who told me that you're here, and those of you who didn't, because tonight's show, after coming back on for 2 weeks, we had mentioned, hey, Leah's here. Leah does every last Friday of the month. And Tuesday. Then we had every last Tuesday of the month. That's Alvin, who has a show on Fridays, every Friday of the week. And so I haven't been on the show for 2 weeks, but I do have to say thank you, you guys, coming back to the show this evening after having a death in the family. Diane passed away, and please keep us in your prayers. We're going to her funeral on tomorrow, but it's been so much. Then I had to run Ava back home to Virginia Beach. It's just been so much. Oh, let me just say this, and I promise y'all we're going to get started. Last night was our anniversary. We laid into the bed. I'll check the Facebook before I go to bed. Gil watching a Western. I'm, looking for new sheets because I wanted to, make the bed look different for fall, the new season coming, And Facebook pops up and says memory. Happy anniversary. I was like, dang, what is today? Is it July the 10th? And so I look over at him and I said, happy anniversary to you. So he goes, he was trying to think of, and we both just passed out laughing so hard because it was 11:45 and we realized it was our 27th wedding anniversary, and it just cracked us both up because I think we did talk about it. Like we talked about in January that this year would be 27. I think in June, one day, Gil said, you're going to make reservations or do something for our anniversary. I was like, yeah, I got it. Okay, yeah, no.
It was very cute how you said it on your page. When I saw it,
Yeah.
it was very cute how you said how you and Gil just looked at each other and started laughing. That
We
was
just
so
That's
cute. You
funny.
laughed.
know, you
That's
didn't
funny.
like
Unfortunately, I was
freak
like
out.
way off my job because usually I'll remind her like on birthdays and stuff, and I had
Yes,
forgot. I
Lord,
was
I'm
like,
so
"Is it
bad at
today?
it.
Is it?" And then I said I was too embarrassed to ask if I had the right date or
I'm
not.
so
Then she
bad
called
at
me.
it.
I was like, "Yeah."
I know because I sent D the text first. I was like, girl, it's our anniversary. We done forgot all about it. Don't tell nobody.
And I was like, "I thought it was
but
today. I just completely forgot."
But I will add to my husband, who is out getting everything together for us to have a nice dinner tonight. Thank you, Gil, in advance. But last week he bought me flowers and this nice thing. So he was like, "I got you flowers last week." I was like, "Yeah, you did. Thanks. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm looking forward to the birthday trip. Okay,
I gotta
I'm
see.
good."
I know I'm getting ready to start another talk show, and I know we got because that's something I want to explore about anniversaries and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I want to get into that because can you bring us back and we talk about anniversaries and the
We should.
significance? Like, what is the norm, or is there a what am I trying to say? Is there a protocol?
Call with
You
it,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
There are different things
Yeah.
attached to the years
Different
and all
people,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know
is it
that
by
is.
couple, couples dynamics? I don't know. There's so
Some
many
people
questions I got.
celebrate anniversaries for like just anything. The first day
Mhm.
we dated, the first day we had cheesecake together. Some people remember all of those days. And quite frankly, after a certain number, who remembers all that?
I
Especially if
know.
you have
We were
children.
like, and then like he was like, "What year is this?" I was like, "I'm not sure. What you think? Which one
Now
you think?"
that I would have known. If you
Get
called me,
the
I would
cal- Well,
have
we
say
know because
that.
Trey was
Right.
born the same year we got married.
Right.
I was on the calculator on my phone. He was on the calculator of his phone. He was like, "Oh, 27. I thought this was 28, 29." I was like,
No. Well,
no.
I'm guilty. I'm
27.
guilty too. I have to admit, I forget our anniversary too, and
Really?
even the date.
I'm
Our
not
They
anniversary-
started
I'm
at
glad,
one
but it just makes me not feel so bad.
right.
No,
Well, at
no.
one point, everybody was engraving their wedding dates in their rings. That was a big thing. Like in the 80s, you engraved your wedding date into
That
your
was
wedding
true, so you
bands.
wouldn't forget.
And I guess people don't do
It
that
wouldn't have
anymore.
mattered. It
I
wouldn't.
know. I was thinking because
It's sad, but Ken will tell you. He
Yeah.
knows how many years. He knows the date and everything. Me, it's just like,
Yeah. But I also think that you guys are just like we are. There's a lot going on.
it's too.
There are a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of celebrations. Your daughter graduated from high school. It's so much going on. It's just that you kind of like,
Yeah.
forget that day.
Yeah.
But
I'm still shocked faced with Charlene
But-
saying she didn't remember because you remember everything. I'm like looking at you like, what?
no,
I mean,
Alvin.
I'm shocked-faced.
I think it's a certain level of peace.
I
I don't
remember
think
this
it
year.
is the
I did.
number as much. I'm
Because
sorry.
I
it's
think-
25. I only
And-
remember this year because it's 25 next week.
And the thing with Charlene, Alvin, I used to tell her this because her butt did remember everything all the time, everything all the time, everything all of the time. And I used to say to her, I can't wait till you have a baby. Because then half your brain gonna be foggy like the rest of us. You won't remember as much all the time. Now she is always perfectly coiffed, which she has always been. But I do remember that one day, Char, you showed up at work with one blue shoe, one navy blue shoe, and one black shoe. I was like, see, girl, I told you, have a baby.
Bust you out like that.
No, she did.
Because I told her that day would come.
It happened. I was so embarrassed. And
Hey,
it's
Bessie's on.
Well,
Oh,
nobody knew Charlene except you and Alma because I was
Well,
there that day. I don't remember.
look, it started to trickle throughout the newsroom.
Because yeah, they will tell, right?
she showed it to me when she got in. She said, "Girl, look." I was like, "Ooh, yeah."
Oh wow.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I'm
Hi,
still-
Bessie.
Still
Thank
shocked
you.
faced
She
because
said,
you remember
Hello.
everything.
Right.
You remember.
"Happy birthday!
thank
Happy
you,
birthday
Bessie.
to Lillian."
I've been sunbathing.
Oh, Bessie, you know she's on her school teacher vacation,
I am on
so
vacation.
you know.
Although
Yes,
I did work
indeed.
today, but I'm getting in any chance I get.
DeCheryl is on here with us. Hi, DeCheryl. Hello, hello. Bessie says 77 thank yous. Yes, you are making
Yes, happy
77 look
birthday.
good, look good, look
Yes.
good. Yes, yes. That's my godmother, you guys.
Oh,
Okay, so I think it's ready. Hey, Gail Dorsey, how are you? I think it's time for us to get this party started. Y'all ready? We got
Okay.
some good questions tonight. Before we run our disclaimer, I would like to thank Lori Grant. Lori Grant is our voice actress who reads our questions for us every week. And I really, really, really appreciate her doing that. She is the voice of several books. So if you guys are listening to a book on tape and it sounds familiar, and then you watch Ask Alma, could be Lori. Yes, yes. Okay, let's get our disclaimer up.
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now that we are prepared, let's hear what question number one has to say.
Hello, Alma and panelists, and hello to your audience. I'm Lori Grant, tonight's voiceover recording artist. I have the pleasure of reading our questions for the evening. So, here we go. Hi, Alma. New neighbors moved into the apartment next door, a father and son. The son is around 10 years old and as cute as he can be, very mannerly. He and the father speak and seem to be decent people. Here's what I've noticed. The father works at night. He goes in around 6 o'clock and comes home around 2:30 a.m. or so. The boy is home alone all that time. I know it's none of my business, but I don't think that boy should be home alone at that time of night. Tell me, should I report him to CPS?
She went all the way. I had to
Right.
look up. I had to look up CPS, Child Protective Services. I was like, "What is CPS?" I thought, is that the rec center down the street? What is she talking about? So there's a woman who has noticed her new neighbors next door, wonderful gentleman and his son. Obviously, the father works at night, and the neighbor finds that to be not a good thing because there's no babysitter that she has seen too, mind you. But she might know. I mean, if she's like Miss Graham was in my neighborhood, she can tell you everything that was going on. So I got a feeling that this woman is that way. Should she call CPS, Child Protective Services? Like I said, y'all, I had to Google that one. But what would you all suggest to this woman? Alvin, I'm coming to you first.
Well, first of all, I'm sitting here in my Richard Williams voice, Venus Williams' father, I'm about the neighbor who's across the street from their house. I'm sitting in that voice right now. She needs to, first, if she's concerned, confront the father.
Mm-hmm.
Confront the father. Like you said, she may not have seen anybody in the house. I don't know. But I don't think it's her place to just assume that this child is being mistreated and, anything like that. Confront the father.
Right.
Be an adult and say, I've noticed something. What could happen other than you being an adult?
And Pat Walkup said, how old? Pat, she said the boy is around 10 years old.
She thinks.
Right. She's guessing on that too. So she may be wrong with that. Although the other thing I was thinking too, you guys, they just have so many ways that you can be on camera now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That popped in my mind too.
She seems to have this man scheduled down, so he's not alone. She is already the babysitter.
He should call the police on her.
She knows when he goes to work, what time he gets home, when she's leaving the child, probably what he's eating. She knows all the business anyway, so she can keep watch like she's been doing. She didn't say that the child is outside by himself, that he's letting people in. Like none of that is happening. So she's
Nope.
already securing the child's safety. But she
By
right,
watching.
right by watching. But she no, that is extreme. Like I was surprised that that's what her question was.
Yeah,
Um
that she went
she
full
could offer
blown.
to watch him. Or just offer to, like, I can check in with him, or if he needs
Keep
anything,
an
tell
eye.
him. Like my neighbor told my son, if you ever get off the school bus and you don't see anybody, come here. Come, you can come knock on our door and let us know. So she can say, I'd be happy to, check on him, or I'd be happy to, if he needs anything, has an emergency or something, he can knock on my door. But if he's 10 or more, which he could be, it's okay for him to be home in the
Charlene,
evening,
would you
locked
leave your
in.
10-year-old home?
No, I would not. I think I would just be neighborly. I wouldn't be necessarily nosy, but I would be neighborly and just have a conversation, like Alvin said, and just say, is there how can I support you, or find you find someone to watch your son? Especially in this day and age, I just don't think it's safe for a child that young, because they're not making good judgments. Maybe they have an understanding. I don't know. I wouldn't call Child Protective Services unless
Right.
I
I thought that was a bit
saw some sort of abuse or whatever. I don't have a problem with her being the nosy neighbor. I think neighborhood watch is really good to
Right.
to have.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just think she just needs to be neighborly, and if she's really concerned,
Right.
have a conversation and just kind of like peek it out a little bit and see
Mhm.
what's going on. And
Mm.
then the other side of this, we don't know if there's a child custody battle going on, and he's trying to keep stuff on the down low. And there's just so many scenarios.
Factors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so many ways too that you can watch your child without being
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Because
Rings,
I was
blinks,
surprised that
cameras.
The ring
yeah,
is it? We
the
don't know if
ring.
there's a ring there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
I was surprised. I was visiting a family member that I won't call out her name. And her kid is 8. And we walked outside um, to the corner store, came back up and went in. And we left her daughter in the apartment alone. And I was like, are we leaving her? And she was like, yeah, I'm watching her. She had a camera in her room.
Yeah.
Right.
Was looking at her phone, and I was like, let me see that, because I don't have kids, so I don't know all of these new things that parents have now to watch their kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, because we were like looking at her down
Right.
right in her room, right, like looming over her almost, the camera. It was like, oh my gosh, you can do that. Which then I thought, that's an invasion of her privacy.
Oh,
You know,
see,
kids
well,
and privacy is a
no,
whole
no.
conversation.
That's a whole
conversation.
nother.
But
No,
I think that's a bit
no.
invasive. I mean,
Yeah.
even as a parent, I wouldn't do that. But I know some people need to do that. But
You
at
wouldn't.
10, I was
You
in the
wouldn't.
5th grade.
You wouldn't do what, D?
I
I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
have the camera in the room.
Oh, okay. Because I'm sorry, my brother has
I
it all
might
over his
have like the
house.
doors, camera around the doors or something like that. But I was 10. I was in the 5th grade. I had a key. And
But look, I mean,
if my
that was
mom had to
then.
go.
Kids today
Is
aren't
it
like.
But we're all making the assumption that every child is going to behave like the ones we read about in newspapers, and that's not true. It sounds like that this child probably has some kind of maturity because it's been going on. I'm sure it went on before they moved there. That dad has
That
to
the
work at
dad
night.
made the decision, right, to leave
Right,
him
dad
there.
has to work at night if we're going to eat. This is what you need to do.
And I wondered if they were new to the area, because that's what I was thinking the neighbor could say.
Okay.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Right.
Again, approach
I
it.
noticed you.
Go
Yeah.
over
Talk
to
to the
them and
dad,
be
like Alvin
neighborly.
said. Yeah.
Just be
Yeah.
an
Yeah, she's gonna
adult.
say, I noticed you leave at 10 and don't come back till 2:30. And
now, because
Lord knows.
if you do that, then you're gonna isolate him.
oh
and
right,
you
absolutely.
won't
Right.
Look, and she watching to see if daddy come home with company.
Listen, he's safe because she is on the door.
She is watching, right?
She is watching.
But I
Yes,
do think the
indeed.
whole issue of cameras. I think having people having cameras in their homes now for their kids, especially if you got a sizable house where
Yeah.
you got to watch rooms. I mean, I've I think it's very important that you should kind of, watch some of your kids' behavior, especially if you know your child. Not to say that this child is bad or anything like that. Sometimes you need to take precaution. That's
yeah.
Although Alvin, I a little while back had a conversation with a friend whose daughter was a nanny, and she left a job because she told that the parents that she did not like cameras everywhere, and they had cameras in every room, in every hallway except the bathroom. And she said, it just feels like you're constantly watching me, or I don't know what you're watching, but I'm not comfortable with so many cameras in the house. That's another thing, but I think it's,
if that's the case, you should find another job.
That
has less cameras and be done with it.
Right, because whatever you're doing, people should be able to watch what you're doing there with the kids.
Yeah.
If I could turn this laptop around right now, you would see a camera in a place in my house, okay? And I live alone.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so right. I mean, but it's to each his own. I get it.
Go where you're comfortable. But no, we do not think you should call CPS. That's like jumping off the bridge. So walk on the bridge a little bit. Say hello to the father, get to know him, his name, the son's name, and how old the boy is, because you said he's around 10. You don't really know if he's 10 years old or not.
Right.
Keep an eye out.
He could be a little person.
He could be like very small.
Roy. He could be a little Roy.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not Elroy. I couldn't even watch Elroy. Look at that mess on his face.
Elroy?
Right.
Who said Elroy?
Charlene brought up little Elroy.
Who is Elroy?
From the Jetsons.
From what?
From the Jetsons.
The little teeny boy.
I can't.
Well, I could have said the little snotty nosed kid from Martin.
Oh, yeah,
I know. That's who I thought about.
Roscoe.
Roscoe.
That's it.
Don't nobody want to watch Roscoe.
TV off if he was on there. I could not.
Don't nobody want to watch Roscoe.
It is
Me too,
D. Y'all have taken me there like 4 times.
Mr. Gill says, CPS, child, please shut up.
Right.
That is the second comment of my husband in 2 years.
Yeah.
Say that. Shut up.
Well, people calling CPS on people for correcting their child in stores.
Yeah.
So, if you correct your child, people will call CPS on you for just talking to your child in a way that they don't think is suitable.
Yeah. Oh, my mother used to tell me, call them now, because I'll be back in here in 2 minutes, me and you. It was like, oh my gosh.
If you call them, they better take you away. Right. You call them,
right.
On me, they better take you.
That's what she said.
DeShari's comment.
Cheryl,
tell them you're not a Karen, but I'm a Keisha and I'm nosy. And I saw you leave your son at home last night. Do you want me to watch him until you get home? No, ma'am, I don't want you to watch my child. I want you to mind your business. That's what I want you to do.
I just want you to keep an eye.
Why
you don't need to be up in my house.
I thought she was going to say that she liked him or something like that. Let us start it out. He gets off at 2, new neighbor. He ain't got no woman. I thought she was going to say,
I want to go on a date.
Ask him out for dinner or something. She was like, no, should I call CPS on this?
She's going to call CPS. Sit down, girl.
Mm-hmm. No. Okay. No, girl. No. We said bring it down a notch, bring it down another notch, and then bring it down another notch. Okay.
And send it out the room.
Okay. Right. 50,000 things you could do. Right. Call CPS is not one of them.
Not one of them.
Not one of them. Okay, you guys, let's check out question number 2.
Dear Alma, I love my grandma, my dad's mother. She has always been there for me. My mother and father never married. He married another woman and had kids and never really spent time with me. My grandma did, though. Here's the thing. She always talks terribly about my father, and it really bothers me. She calls him every name in the book for how he mistreated me by never establishing a relationship. And then she tells me how much she loves me and how much it doesn't matter. I never said anything when she makes these comments and judgments. But now that I'm grown, I'm 22, I want to ask her to stop talking about my dad so negatively. Do you think that's disrespectful? How can I do it and not make her mad?
Okay, before I recap, I think it's so cute. She said, I'm grown. I'm 22. Girl, you still a baby in your grandma's eyes. But that's fine
But
because
what's wrong with our video girl's hair? What's going on with her hair?
It is like a little color. Little color.
See, she had a little gray, just like I got a little gray, and now y'all talk about her.
No, that's not what was going on.
That's a heat. That's a heat stroke.
And let me just say, I thought I could live with the gray. I cannot. I confess to people.
Just hold on.
I can't. I can't. I
can't.
can't. I tried. And what's so bad? Well, this time I told everybody, I'm going to keep my gray. I'm not coloring my gray.
I'm not
I
claiming
made announcements and declarations. And girl, I'd have made an appointment tomorrow. I'm going. I can't. I thought I could. I can't do it. But anyway, to recap.
Let's get back to grandma.
From two ladies who ain't got no gray.
That's right.
I know y'all got gray. And y'all looking good too. I'm looking 10 years older than y'all. I ain't having it.
You are not.
My hair
all righty.
No, girl.
Bessie said, I thought maybe she didn't have time to style it before the program. What is wrong with her hair? I'm sorry. I digress.
That was funny. Okay, so to recap, question number 2. This young lady is 22, and her grandmother is very important to her. They spend a lot of time together. Her dad, who married someone else, had kids and went on with that family, did not establish a relationship with her. So as far as her dad's side of the family, it's always been her grandmother who stepped in and just doted all over her and has loved her dearly. But she talks about her son very negatively to her granddaughter. And the granddaughter is saying it hurts her when her grandmother talks about her dad. And so she wants to know how she could almost gracefully and not disrespectfully talk to her grandmother about not speaking so negatively about and so poorly about her father in front of her. Like she just doesn't want to do that anymore. She said when she was little, it bothered her, but she never said anything. But now that she's an adult, she wants to have an adult conversation with her grandmother about that. So we went to Alvin for the last question. Charlene, we rolling up on you this time. What do you say, girl?
I don't find that she's being disrespectful.
Yeah, me too.
I think that she has genuine concerns. I mean, that's her father. And I think grandma needs to be respectful. However,
yes.
You should never talk bad about
another parent. I know, girl.
Even if it's your child.
I just, whatever issues she has with her son, they need to have that conversation.
Right.
But grandma needs to tighten it up. Do not disrespect her granddaughter's father. I totally disagree with that.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's okay to tell anyone not to badmouth another person to you, whether it's a relative or not. Like you can't talk about, nobody can talk about Alma to me. So, and they already know that, so I don't have to tell them that. But I think it sounds like maybe grandma might be trying to establish a different kind of connection with the little girl. Maybe she doesn't like the other family. Maybe she doesn't want anything to do with them. I love you, but he doesn't.
She's doing that. Yeah,
I love you more than your daddy does. But I think there's plenty of ways she can say, Grandma, I wish you wouldn't talk bad about my dad to me.
Yeah, because I think it makes the kid feel bad, and nobody ever thinks about that part. That child is a combination of the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
And so, because what really kills me, although this is a grandmother, I don't agree with any woman who badmouths a father because he doesn't do anything for the kid, or y'all broke up, or he won't do. You know what? That's your fault. You picked him. Exactly. You picked him. Don't bring all of that to anybody else. You deal with it, and especially not to the kid.
Kids.
Because I remember, like, I know my mother would say stuff to my father or say something about my father would never say anything about my mother. And even if I said something about my mother, he'd go, "Don't talk about your mother like that." I'd be like, "What? Both of us should be talking about her." But it does ping you a little bit because you are a part of the person that they are talking about. So when you say, that person is a loser, or that person never cares, or I think children internalize that. Does that mean I'm a loser? Does that mean I don't care because I'm half that person? So stop it. Like it is really hurtful.
And if that person is truly awful, the child will figure that out on
they
their
do.
own.
Yes,
They will
they
figure
do.
it out on their own if that person is horrible. They don't need you bad mouthing.
Yeah. Because my cousin, one time we were talking, as older women, and my cousin had said, we had asked about her dad because we just hadn't seen him for so many years. And she was like, "I guess he's doing all right. We don't really talk." And we were like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "When I was young, remember, he used to pick me up and took me to McDonald's. I thought that was the best Happy Meal I ever had." She said they used to take me to my grandmother's, drop me off. So she said she would come home and, tell her mom what a great time they had. And her mother never said anything but, "Good. I'm glad y'all had a good time," or whatever. Right. And she was like, then it dawned on her, wait a minute, we ain't even spending time together. And her mother had nothing to do with it.
Right.
She realized it on her own with that time that she was spending with that other parent, and she was able to form her own thoughts and feelings about that parent on her own. So I do agree with you. They figure it out. Kids figure out everything. They know when y'all stay together and you don't want to be together. They know that.
Oh, yeah, they notice that immediately.
They know a whole lot of that. And will come to school and tell their teacher. Don't they, Miss Dee Dee? They'll tell your teacher.
We know all the business. All of the stop. I have to stop. You don't tell me anything else about your mama and your daddy.
And can I just say one thing? And because I want Alvin to have a chance, but I just wanted to say, I think as an adult, you should be the best example in front of children.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Because Gil, it was funny that a couple of weeks ago, Gil and I were talking about something. He said, "You told me this." I said, "No, I would have never told you that in front of Ava. I would have never said it like that." Like every time she is around, I am constantly under my umbrella of good behavior.
Yeah.
Because I want her to think obviously great things about her grandma Alma, but you want to be the example to them. And we laughed about that. I said, "Yeah, because if she wasn't around, I would have." Then I would have said it like that.
Because kids don't do what you say; they do what you do. So when you see kids with bad behavior, they watch that.
Yeah, they think
they weren't told that; they watched it. Like all these kids on social media, little kids cursing and what have you. That's something that they heard being done.
And
that isn't something, and repeated.
Yeah. This whole story puts me in the mindset, and I'm coming from a place of somebody who has had therapy and who appreciates therapy. Yeah. And it gets back to her being afraid to tell her grandmother how she feels.
Exactly.
And Black people are not good at doing that. Mm-hmm. Black people in general are not good at dealing with their feelings. And so for her to feel that something her grandmother is saying is hurting her, yet she's dealing with the fear of letting someone know how she feels.
That they hurt her. Isn't that the truth, Alvin?
But doesn't, Alvin, don't you think that has something to do with the hierarchy we've built? Like, because it's her grandmother, like you can't say anything to your grandmother. Like if it was her sibling.
No, I think what I said was I think it comes from Black people in general not dealing with their feelings.
Okay.
Because no matter how you feel, you should be able to find a way to tell someone that they're doing something to hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to grow up being a hurt person.
Right.
Yeah.
The hierarchy thing, not discounting that, because I'm not going to talk to my mother or my father any kind of way. But if I'm hurting, I got to let you know I'm hurting because what's going to happen? And I just think that I feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
That she's not able to make that decision. Thank you for coming on Alma's show, giving us something to talk about. But I'm just saying that she should be able to talk to her grandmother and say, "Grandma, what you're saying to me is hurting me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's it, right.
Yeah. And if her grandmother cannot deal with that, Something's wrong with grandma.
Something's wrong with grandma.
Because Bessie Lillian said that Troy, and I know Troy is her granddaughter, that she said something to her father, and he eventually stopped. But she had to say something, and that's really mature of the young person to be able to say that hurts me, because that's so true, Alvin. The ones who don't carry that hurt and continue to live with the hurt. Yeah.
It's not going to benefit her, but at the same time, I was thinking all of a sudden you said something about when I said that she needs to find a way to talk to her grandmother to say something. Her grandmother should be able to understand that I'm hurting this child.
Right.
And something should trigger her to do that, but she shouldn't be afraid to say how she feels, because it's going to carry over into everything she does, from her grandmother to her boss to, a policeman, or, something that every encounter
her relationships, her relationships with a man,
she's going to be afraid to say how she feels for fear of retaliation.
Yeah. And you know what? Quite honestly, I hope she is watching and absorbing all of that, because that's information that you really have to pay for, Alvin. So thank you for that. You usually don't get information that well for free. That was fantastic. And I think that is enough said right there. Yeah, that's real talk. Thank you for that, Alvin. So why don't we go to question number 3?
Dear Alma, I need advice about a situation with my mother. I love my mother, and I appreciate all of the sacrifices she made for me and my brother. Because of my mother, I'm a college graduate, and my brother is currently attending an HBCU. To make a long story short, my mother is finally getting back child support from our father, and my brother and I am glad about it. The problem is, my mother says she is not obligated to share any of it with us. We both could really use some extra money right about now. My brother is a student, and I'm paying back my student loans. Do you think my mother should share the money with us? And if so, what is a good way to explain that to her?
Okay.
Girl, I might as well just sign off, because I don't have nothing to say. I should tell our producer to just close his screen down on the left, and I'll see y'all when we come back.
You know what? I'm curious about this question. Child support. When the kids become adults, should you share money with them, or is all of that money yours as a parent, as a mother, as a single mother? What y'all got to say?
Child support.
But it's back child support. So it's back child support she wasn't getting when she had the children.
I don't care.
Well, there's a difference between being required to do it and doing it because it's a good thing. So I think
here are my 2 words. Here are my 2 words. Financial literacy.
See,
girl, we got to email your daddy.
That's why I need to get up.
Put your daddy's business in the comments so everybody can learn about their finances.
Drop. Bam.
See, the reality about college is it's going to happen. You're planning for it. You most likely are planning for it to happen. So you can plan for it. It's like Christmas. If you know Christmas comes every year, you shouldn't be spending the last paycheck at Christmas trying to, put all kinds of stuff under the tree. If it's back child support, then it's support that she should have gotten when they were children. Most states do not recognize children after they've turned 18. That is not the responsibility of the parent to put their kids through college. Should they? Yes. Is she getting money now where she could help them? She should, but she's not required to. It really is just about a matter of the heart, not the pocketbook. Because
it's back child support.
It's back child support. And I'm Charlie, you don't know how child support works because you remain happily married. When most states, again, determine child support from 2 incomes. You take the both of them together, you determine, I don't know how much she was getting from him or not, but she wasn't getting anything from him.
Okay, here's my question. Okay. What is she going to do with the money? What's she going to do with the money?
She ain't giving it to her kids.
Whatever she wants to do with the money?
Selfish. That is so.
We're not.
Because
I don't disagree with that. We're talking about whether it's a
She needs to put
requirement.
her children. She needs to put those kids first. Give them that money.
Even though they are in their 20s now.
Okay, see, and I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I wanted to ask you how old were they?
They're in their 20s.
Okay. One's in college and one's out. Is that
what? One's out of college and one's in college.
As far as we know, she could be in extreme debt from taking care of those kids by herself. She could conceivably be in debt from the first kids. We don't know what's going on with her financially. If she's like taking cruises, it really is it's about the heart versus whether you want to talk about the money or if you want to talk about whether she should do it or not. Those are two completely different things.
Well, see, I gotta play on words. We're talking about child support and not an inheritance.
No, right. And it's back child support,
it's
Alvin.
Back child support. So now, I don't want to leave because this was a tough one. I sorry to cut you off, D, but I just think that the kids are not entitled to see that money. They're 20 or whatever. I don't know how she's put them through school and taking care of them over the years. All of that needs to be on a canvas for me to kind of say what I'm really feeling. Mm-hmm. But right. If they were under 18, 16 years old and their mama walking around here wearing Louboutins and Gucci, and all this stuff, and they're like this, why I got to go to H&M? Right. See, that would be a problem, but I don't think that's the canvas that's been painted, right? That's not it.
Did Cheryl say I'm in that situation now and it's my money? I like that commercial. It's my money and I want it now.
It really does.
The kids are grown. Yeah. I help my kids even though they're grown, but this is my money. Back money. So mama came up with the money some kind of way. They survived and they managed well.
They managed to both graduate from high school and to get into college, and however that happened. Yeah. While she had them the entire time they were adolescents, she was getting nothing from their father. So right. we really don't know what kind of circumstances she's in. She have a second mortgage on a house. She could be in debt up to her eyeballs. And
that's what Pat Walker says.
Yeah. The kids, of course, are assuming, well, she has ready cash now, she should give it to us.
Yeah.
And probably not, like I know for certain, and we probably could all say this, I didn't know what my mother's financial situation was when I was a child. That was nothing that
I didn't know my parents' situation.
That was nothing discussed. So they might not know what kind of, she might be in dire straits from getting them both into college.
In debt.
That would be money. And how do they even know she's getting the money unless dad called and said, yeah, I'm giving your mother her money now.
She may have told them. Maybe she mentioned, I'm finally getting your dad's back child support.
Right.
Because I love reading what the comments, because I was curious, like this question is so broad and it's almost like an individual question. Like we need so much more information. Uh-huh. It's not the kind of question that we can say, yes, parents should keep all the money. No, the parents, like you don't know.
Do we know how much money it was? Mm-mm. For back child support, it could be $125 a month or something. I mean, it could be so ridiculously low.
Yeah, but
I just want to bring them all on here. We should have like a little screen and see the mother and the two kids. I need to lay eyes on them and let them see if they could express how they feel.
And I'm gonna tell you,
them, then that would kind of help.
I'm gonna tell you, like I told the neighbor, mind your business. The check got my name on it. Mind your business.
I guess for me, I just hate for anyone to have to worry about student debt. And there's a way to help them get rid of some of that debt. I mean, because you have to think about generational wealth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's gotta start somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if there's something, if she doesn't really have a need for that money, you kind of have to get out of your feelings.
Yeah.
I like that. Pat said kids should be thrilled that mom finally gets to have a little less financial worry. I like that Bessie said she should take a cruise and do something for herself. And it looks like Clarice says she's 70 and still waiting on her back child support.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
But they say you can, in certain states, you can still get it. Doesn't matter how old the kids are, you can still get it. I am so proud, and I am not, trying to brag or boast, but I am very grateful to God. Joshua, my son, is a disabled veteran, and his daughter's college tuition is paid, and she will get a stipend because of what happened to her dad. But he says, he pays for it every day with all the pain and suffering that he goes through every day. But it is important to figure out a way, I think, to get your kid in school, to get them in college. Charlene, who is that?
Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah. Tell him to wave to us.
He cannot. He is not. He cannot.
You tell him on Alma say hello, Jeremiah.
He's in his room, and he wants to walk past me to the washroom.
Tell him like Ava. Tell him we got 3 minutes. We got 3 more minutes.
Okay. Hey, Jeremiah, congratulations.
I know. Congratulations to you. You know what? When Ava was here, I looked down. She was crawling on the floor. I was like thinking, what is going on? She was trying to pass the camera so nobody would see her. Daniela says, good evening. Daniela says, good evening, everyone. Hi, Daniela. How are you? Cheryl said Pat and Bessie. She's 56 and getting it. Yeah, you can get child support even after the kids are adults.
But you have to have filed initially.
Yes.
Like you can't you could try. I mean, they'll states will do what they can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be such a small amount that it wouldn't even be able to help them anyway. But
even if it's big, it's hers.
It's hers.
It's hers because they aren't kids.
Children by herself.
I still need to see I need to see the 3 of them.
Right. I'm with you, Alvin. I need a little bit more information.
I need a little bit more information.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little. Cheryl said hers was $54,000. All right, girl. That's a whole year's paycheck right there.
Right.
Put that in your retirement. Because that's the other thing that I was thinking too. Like, I think it's great for mom to help children who go to college. But what about people who are rolling up on retirement age? It's so expensive to retire now.
She said financial. Charlene said 2 words.
Financial.
But we're talking about somebody who was not with her children's father and was taking care of 2 kids by herself. So perhaps
that makes her illiterate.
Yeah, no, but perhaps her children will be in the position to learn about financial literacy and not be in the same position with their children. We're talking about generations of. But how many generations does that go back for you, Charlene? Like some families wouldn't even know what those 2 words meant. It's apart or together. Right. So that's something that needs to be learned and then passed on.
Yeah.
Well, but this is the opportunity for them to learn it.
Exactly.
If she was being financially literate. So
but Cheryl said you only get it every 2 weeks, that you don't get a lump sum. She said you get the check every 2 weeks.
Or once a month.
But does that make
once a month?
But if you're talking about someone who is already in dire straits, that is not where that's going to happen.
But you're assuming. I don't know how she.
I'm not assuming. I said if that's we don't know. There's a whole bunch of things we don't know about these circumstances, but.
And Charlene, you a saver, girl. That's why I borrow money from you. Keep saving. Oh my goodness, my fam. Thank y'all for tonight so much.
I got to tell you, these questions tonight, I mean, I've been on this show a few times, but these questions tonight were very, very good. I'm going to say, that question number 2 got me in my feelings, okay? Because I'm like,
yes.
I really
that was a good one.
Her.
I did too. I did too.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was something. And you know what, Alvin, that's not a bad idea to bring that back, because we did kind of talk through that a little bit quickly, but it does deserve more conversation. So actually, we'll bring it back next Tuesday when Alvin will be back with us.
I'm doing double duty this month.
Double duty. That's right. Like, because you were with us every month last year. Remember, we started out with every first Tuesday of the month. Dee Dee, so you will not be with us
I will
next
not
week.
be
Is that
with you
right?
next week. No.
Dee Dee will not be with us. So
Well,
we
my
may have.
boys will be here next week.
I know.
Who?
That's right.
Who?
Yes,
All
yes.
of Vosh and Bobby will be here next week.
Oh, the
He said,
He
he said,
we will
and
be here
she
next
said.
Should be fun.
That
Oh
is
my
going to be a
God.
lot of fun. That is
Okay.
going to be a lot of
I'll
fun.
try
And
to watch.
please do turn it on while you guys are traveling. You can listen to it while you're going down the highways and the byways. Thank you guys
I will
again
do
so
that.
much for coming on the show. Thank everybody for watching. I'm so grateful. All
We
my
have a good
cousins who
audience.
watch, you know, I just love y'all to pieces. All my long-term friends, my godmother, Pat Walker, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Daniela. Thank y'all. And come back and see us next Tuesday right here at 7:00. Bye, you guys. Have a good night. And y'all know I forgot my anniversary, so I got to go.
Good night, everybody.